Yo, welcome back to another episode of The Source. I don't want to talk about the Bucks right now. This whole week has just been awful. Apologies to everyone who's been following my bets. I've had the worst week I've had in months. We got 2 NBA games today, bunch of day baseball games. That's why I'm up early as shit recording this. We got Sixers versus Hawks game 1, and then we got game 7, Clippers Mavericks. Let's talk about them.
Welcome to The Source. The Source. The Source. Hey, get the Source.
All right, Sixers, Hawks, game 1 in Philly. Line is Philly minus 2.5. Early bets and early money most definitely on the Sixers. I checked the numbers a few minutes ago when I woke up, and the consensus line moved from Philly minus 2.5 to Philly minus 3. Still 79% of the money on the Sixers. All right, first up, I think it's pretty safe to say Joel Embiid is not going to play in this game. I know they have listed as questionable, but he's got a torn meniscus. They're not going to play around with that. Even if it's a small tear, a torn meniscus is not something to play with. All he has to do is step on it wrong, and a small tear can become a large tear, and then all of a sudden he's missing a chunk of next season. I think the Sixers are just doing a little bit of a PR dance, listing him as questionable. All NBA teams do it now where, oh, it's going to be a game time decision, but they know he's not going to play. We might see him in game 3 because there's a 2-day rest in between game 2 and 3. That's my guess is Embiid plays in game 3. So we're going to break down this game with the assumption that Joel Embiid is not playing. So what are we looking at with the Philadelphia 76ers without Embiid? Well, for starters, we're looking at a real thin front court off the bench. Now, Philly could run some minutes with a small lineup to avoid bringing Mike Scott in the game, which is what they did against the Wizards. They put Tobias Harris at the 5. Here's the problem with Atlanta. They have Clint Capella, who plays 35 plus minutes a game. So you can't get away with Tobias Harris at the 5. You can't run minutes like that against Clint Capella. And I know right now you're thinking, yo, Philly has Dwight Howard. Why doesn't Dwight Howard just come in, start the game at 5, and play the game at center for Philly? It's a little bit more complicated than that. Dwight Howard's been playing 15, 16 minutes a night for the majority of this season. This isn't NBA 2K. You can't just grab someone who's been playing 15 minutes a night, throw him in there and be like, yo, give me 35 minutes. Like, that shit is an adjustment. Dwight Howard has only played 25 minutes or more twice in the past 2 months. But for this video's sake, let's say Dwight Howard's able to give you 25 great minutes guarding Clint Capella. Who's playing the 5 for the other 23 minutes in this game? Who's going to step up and give Philly those other minutes at the center position? The reason why that's so important is that center position is the most important position in defending the Atlanta Hawks offense. Check these numbers out. This is why it's so important, that 5 position against the Hawks. Trae Young has run 1,640 possessions this season out of the pick and roll. And out of those possessions, he averages 1.085 points per possession. That's third in the entire NBA. First is Luka Doncic, second is Damian Lillard. He's in good company. They run the shit out of that pick and roll, and the main man to defend it is that 5 spot. The Hawks run almost exclusively a high screen way the hell up here. They spread their shooters out, bring Capella's big ass up here and send Trae into space. So then you got Capella, 7'1", huge, on a beeline to the basket with his hands up. He's got pretty good hands too. So that immediately has to be your first reaction to stop that. Also, you got Trae Young in space, and if anyone comes off to help, he's throwing a bullet pass for a wide open 3 to some good shooters. So this man, the 5, the center, is the most important position against the Hawks. Why do you think Tom Thibodeau benched Nerlens Noel and was starting Taj Gibson? Nerlens Noel, second in the league in blocks, had an amazing year defensively, but he had no idea how to handle this. Philly's got a big hole to fill for about 10 to 12 minutes. Now, maybe Dwight Howard comes in and plays 25, 30 minutes, guards the hell out of Capella, gives Trae Young problems off the screen. He's a solid backup center. I'm just concerned with his minutes, that's all. Now, on the other side of the ball, Philly, I got great news for you. Trae Young is an absolutely horrible defender. According to 538, you probably heard of him, analytics site, ABC News actually bought them. They do these things called Raptor ratings, and they use everything that goes into it. I'm talking about closeout speed, dribble penetration percentage, field goal percentage against contested shots. Everything goes into these ratings, and they give players overall offensive and defensive ratings. Trae Young, 7th in the NBA on offense. Amazing offensive rating. On defense, 249. Straight up, he's just not a good defender. Most small scoring guards aren't. I mean, he's 6'1" with a narrow frame. Who's he gonna guard? Derrick Rose was looking like MVP Derrick Rose from 2012 or whatever against Trae Young. They had to take Trae Young off him and put him on Reggie Bullock, and then Reggie Bullock was driving to the basket, something I've never even seen him do. Philly can do whatever they want with this. They could switch Trae Young off onto Simmons for an easy drive into the basket. They could switch him off onto Tobias Harris for a high percentage shot. Philly's gonna have all kinds of options on offense with or without Embiid against the Hawks. Clint Capella will definitely slow down the offense under the basket, but overall, Philly's definitely going to get looks from three. I mean, shit, the Knicks got looks from three against the Hawks, wide open looks. They just didn't hit them. Philly's got Danny Green. He has experience knocking down big shots in big moments. He's not going to get all rattled like the Knicks shooters are. I like Philly here to cover this. Give me Sixers -3 in game one. Lock it in. Anything changes, Twitter, Instagram story, and Facebook. VIP sheets going out early. I'm talking 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. I'm getting all those out. Full ticket of baseball picks, props, totals for the NBA game. We're going to bounce back. I know this week has been horrible, and I'm so sorry for that from the bottom of my heart, and I promise you we're going to get it back. Let's make some money today, for God's sake. I'll talk to you on Twitter.